200 meters, but the 200 meter and the 500 meter, but 1,000 meter.
And that is depending on which side you paddle. And it seemed like there is a bit of a tailwind right now. So the athletes want to make sure they have an angle that will help them get the best start as possible.
Yeah, and what can happen with a side wind, can't it, is it can favor paddler on one side, which is a shame. And the good thing we've seen, although it has been a little bit blustery, sometimes a headwind, sometimes a tailwind here, is it's been fair. So if you find yourself in lane 1, lane 5 or lane 9, you still have a good chance of winning the race.
And that's the best thing we can hope for, is to have as even of a field as possible for our events here. And it seems like Maria right now and Ludmila are having kind of middle of the race, not middle of the race, we're still early, but they're getting into their middle of the race pace right now. And they're just cruising together and trying to, you know, get ahead. So it's going to be a very mental game for them.
Yeah, it is indeed. I wonder, like you already said that about mentally in 1,000 meters, being a longer race, you have that time to think, which can be a real challenge. You've got to block out those distractions. You've got to concentrate on your own race. But these two will be very aware of each other, you know, alongside. And interesting, in fact, isn't it, that Ludmila Lutzan paddles on the right, Maria Maillard is on the left, so they're kind of almost closer to each other. They can certainly sense where their competitor is.
They can certainly see each other, so it's going to be about a mental game, knowing that you're neck and neck with the person right beside you, and if she pushes, you can't afford to not do it, but then you also need to make sure you keep your energy until the end. And this is not something we're used to as women's canoeer, because again, 1,000 meters are not a usual event for us.
No, that's right. No, and it's what can be difficult. So is we can see the German just to the right of your picture do really well as well. It's good to see Annika Lust trying to go with these early leaders as we approach the halfway point. But if you get into the rhythm, these two very similar stroke rates, slightly higher stroke rate perhaps for the Chilean athlete, but it can actually be quite hard sometimes to then lift that and move on to the next level. So they don't want to sit too much, I guess, otherwise it's hard to go through the gears.
And you want to keep as much efficiency, because now we're at the halfway point already, and you want to make sure that the energy that you had for the first half doesn't diminish, because you can get really stuck at the end of the race if someone decides to pick up. So it's all about conserving as much energy as possible throughout the race, but also not getting too far behind, because you won't be in the race for the last few meters there.
No, and talk about efficient technique. I'm guessing that Ludmila Lutzan does a lot of work on her technique with the coaches. She seems to be executing that very well. Good lock on the front of the stroke at the moment.
Looking great, and not only her, like all the top 4 right now are really looking like they are putting the weight on the blade, but also keeping that as forward as possible. Not too much bouncing happening, and not too much, you know, sideway movement. So very efficient looking and very great starts.
Yeah, really good lock onto the blade. A lot of the paddlers talk about that, don't they? Lifting themselves, getting all the way onto their blade. You know, water isn't necessarily a stable platform, but the more solidly you put the blade in, the more you can rely on that, get all your weight onto it and lift, and the boat then lifts through, and you don't waste any energy having to steer or balance. But we'll see when the camera pans out. Looks at Ludmila Lutzan still has the lead as we get down to the last 200 meters, just towards the last 200 meters. As we pan out now, we can see Zorn's got a boat length on the others, but I guess this is the time when they start moving through the gears, picking up the stroke rate, and want to put Ludmila Lutzan under pressure if they can have any chance of taking that gold medal away from them.
And that's where we're going to see where everyone's experience as a paddler comes out, because some people will have the last push in them to go all the way to the end. And it seems like Ludmila decided to take a step ahead in front of the others to make sure that she would play a little bit on the mind, right? So she's ahead and she's doing great.
She is doing great. They are coming. They're having to go into Maria Maillard, who's been tracking her right the way for 900 meters, is trying to pick it up. But at the minute, Ludmila Lutzan must know she's got clear water on the rest of the field. She's picked it up once again, and this will be a great victory for her. And all respect to the German as well. Fantastic from her. Annika Lust going really, really well, trying to put Maillard under pressure for the silver medal, as is Viraj Bala from Hungary. But no doubt about the winner, a deserved winner, a great character for the sport, Ludmila Lutzan. Good result for her. Maria Maillard in second, And Annika Lust for Germany takes the bronze. To see them doing so well, despite all the adversity, and maybe for Ludmila Lutzan and the other paddlers, it's just, you know, 4 minutes worth of break from all the other things that are going on and a chance to concentrate on something else, something she knows, something she can control. She does well, and well, nobody did it better than her in that 1,000-meter race. We might been for her and her country. What a great result